Alright lads, welcome back to another video. Today I am going to be reacting to the new Spfl fixtures for the season 2018-2019 and just telling you, what the fixtures to look out for are, and also talking about the Rangers news. This happened in the past week that I haven't really covered because I have been slightly busy and all that. And we might mention some of the World Cup. So yeah, let's get into it. So to kick things off, on the 5th of August we do have Aberdeen away. We obviously did have a great record against Aberdeen last season, beating them 3 times and drawing the once. We drew once in that final game against them, against Aberdeen of the season, where Ross McCrory scored that header. Then we've got St Mirren and Motherwell too. Well, St Mirren just got promoted, correct? Yeah, and Motherwell are obviously, they actually done decent last season, so, I mean, my knowledge of the SPFL is very little. I mean, you probably think my knowledge of Rangers is little as well, considering I made that mistake in the last video, right? About the price of, what's his name, Katic, right? I made the mistake, right? Didn't he keep hating on me for it? I made the mistake, right? So, I am a Rangers fan, no, I'm not a new fan, right? So, enough of that. The first Old Firm is away to Celtic on the 1st of September, and, we've got, October seems a decent month. Hearts, Hamilton, Hibs and Kilmarnock. That's Hearts and Hibs, obviously 2 Edinburgh teams, and Kilmarnock played decent last season. Chrissy Boyd most likely to score against us again, unless Goldson and Katic can do something about that. We have yet again another Hogmanay fixture, not quite Hogmanay, the 29th of December, not 30th, or not the 31st or the 1st of January. Home to Celtic on the 29th, so at Ibrox. We're yet to get a win against Celtic. We must get a win against Celtic next season. Like, we must. We can't have another season like the past 2 seasons. We've got a lot of games in December. We've got 7 games in December, so one every weekend and midweek, apart from in between Hamilton and St Johnstone. I don't really know what else to point out. We've got Aberdeen again away on the 6th of February, away to Parkhead again 30th of March, and we end the season away to Motherwell. So yeah, oh yeah, Livingston as well. We've got Livingston. I forgot Livingston got promoted as well. We do play them on the 29th of September away. That's our first meeting with them. So yeah, I mean, as much as you can react to fixtures release date, I mean, everyone's playing everyone, so there's only so much you can have an opinion on. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was just some key dates. If you haven't seen it already, I was at work earlier, so when they did actually get released at first, I wasn't there to check it. But enough of the release of the fixtures. Now let's get on to some more news, which is involving transfers. Also, last episode I did say that Rangers signed their 4th player in Katic. I really meant their 5th. I just forgot about Jamie Murphy, right? Because I was meaning new players. I just forgotten that Jamie Murphy had signed permanently. But Connor Goldson signed a 4-year deal along with Katic. So new centre back pairing. Hopefully that can, 2 young defenders, 25 is young, 2 young defenders, hopefully can solve our problem. So Connor Goldson reportedly did cost Rangers 3 million Turkish lira. Nah, I'm kidding, it was around £3 million. So 5 million was spent on a centre back pairing. Hopefully that is worth it. I mean, Katic, he did say he was desperate to get to Rangers. He said he would run there. Goldson said that he's a big, strong lad. He thinks he's decent on the ball. He's keen. All that. They're all saying the right words. But then again, so did Pedro Caixinha. He said the right words. And look what happened with him. I know managers are different from players, but, you can still say the same things within any situation and not deliver. Right, so Connor Goldson said, "I'm tall, I'm athletic, I can move, and I like to think I'm quite quick. On the ball, I always want the ball and I want to play." So a centre back who wants to play usually is quite decent playing out from the back. Just hopefully they're not a Bilal Mojni type player, and actual Triton does like 5-star skills in the back, and loses the ball, costs a lot of goals, and ends up cracking Lee Werwin in the jaw. Also, another news, not for new signings, but for old players, Lee Wallace has been welcomed back by Steven Gerrard himself to Rangers, but he has to solve his ongoing issues with the club. He needs to resolve them before he is allowed back. Steven Gerrard doesn't want to have anything to do with it. It's got nothing to do with him. He says Lee Wallace has to sort himself with Rangers and, you know, solve the issue that he had after the 4-0 loss to Celtic in the semi-final. Kenny Miller, on the other hand, nothing been said about him. I would be surprised if we signed him back. Not because of what he done, because, I mean, him and Lee Wallace pretty much done the same thing, but because he's quite a bit older than Lee Wallace, and Lee Wallace still got a year on his contract, is a good player when he's at his fittest. So lads, that is all for Rangers news today. If you've made it this far, then you might want some extra news. I'll talk about the World Cup and what has been happening. So, first game, obviously Russia gubbed Saudi Arabia. Card up here for a match reaction that I posted yesterday. And then the game Egypt-Uruguay, I didn't actually catch it because I was working, but Uruguay was the last minute winner. I can see Uruguay having been dominating Egypt and just pressing on constantly. Egypt sitting back, trying not to concede. Now it's actual half time right now of the Morocco-Iran game. You will know the result by the time this comes out. But Morocco look no bad team, and Iran look no bad as well. You know, they look two decent teams. Whether any of them are good enough to give Portugal or Spain a game, that will all come down to tonight, and see whether Portugal and Spain turn up. Talking of Spain, the Spain boss obviously was sacked. Okay, so the Spain manager, his name is Julen Lopetegui, whatever his name is. It's quite a difficult name for us to say, but yes, so Real Madrid signed him up, and you know, you'd think maybe they'll do what Louis van Gaal done with the Dutch in 2014, what Antonio Conte done in 2016 with Italy. You would think that they would let them, you know, play the tournament before sacking them, but the way that the Spain boss done it, 5 minutes before it got announced, the Spain FA found out, and obviously that's not good. Real Madrid obviously thinking they're the big man, the big boys of the country, of the world, but you know, they're in the country, they're in Spain, they should support the Spain FA, they should respect them, not let the Spain FA know about them signing their own manager 5 minutes before they announce it. You know, that is very disrespectful. They should have spoke things through with the Spain FA, and then there wouldn't be the same problem. So yeah, I think it's a good move by Spain. They're showing that they are the bigger picture. You know, the national team is the bigger picture, you know, for now anyway. Whether players, it's everyone's opinion whether they care more about the club or care more about the nation, but for now it is the national team who is the main focus, and Real Madrid disrespected them and their manager got sacked. The manager disrespected them as well. So yeah, I think Spain really did do the right thing. Okay, so the new Spain manager is Fernando Hierro. I've not really heard of him. So we'll see how he gets on tonight against Portugal. Big game. Do you call that a rivalry with Spain and Portugal as you do with Scotland and England? I'm not sure. Maybe they treat each other as friends because they're border, but they probably don't, so it's probably a rivalry. So it's a big game, Spain versus Portugal tonight. I might do a match review on it, I might not, but if I do, then be sure to watch that, and be sure to leave a like on this video. If you do enjoy it, please do leave a like. Leave a comment what you think of all the topics I've discussed in this video, and subscribe if you haven't already. It would help out a lot. Also, I am playing in a charity match. If you've made it this far and you don't know, I am playing in a charity match on the August 19th, 3 o'clock, Sunday, at Ochilview Park in Stenhousemuir for charity. The charity is SAMH, SAMH, Scottish Association of Mental Health. And tickets down below in the description if you want to buy them and see me and a bunch of other fellow YouTubers play, then you can do so easily. So please do leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.